Good evening. It's Donna here from Boldness Blooming. And tonight I would like to share with you an insight I've had recently, and I call it Nobody's Wrong. And in our culture, we are often sort of conditioned to blame someone, either to blame someone else or to blame ourselves. And what I've realized through my own awareness and healing practice is that, whether it's a relationship that's not working, a friendship, or a job situation, that it really comes down to things are just not matching up. Maybe there's just something that is not clicking between the two people or the situation and the person. And so, I think what I've come to realize is a place of a blamelessness. That's a mouthful. And I know in the past, in my past relationship with my ex, I know that I went both into blaming him and thinking what's wrong with him, and he's a bad person, and then also towards myself thinking what's wrong with me, what did I do wrong? And so this is kind of back and forth of something's wrong with him or something's wrong with me, and I think it went like that for a while until I think I just came to the point where I realized that it just wasn't working. It wasn't working for me, and I needed to make a change. And I had that foundation of self-worth at that time, and it was building and building, and I think I just reached a point where I just thought, okay, I'm getting out of this. I want something that's better for me. And I think I've had the same realization with this job, and I think it's a very similar kind of feeling, this feeling of, as explained in my last video, of kind of trying to make it work. Like there was I did empower myself. I've empowered myself. I've tried different things. I've tried different mindsets, and yet again and again, there's been this kind of suffering, feelings that are not positive, And so I think at this point, I just have to think, maybe it's just not working. It's not because I'm not enough, and it's not because they're not enough, or there's something wrong with them. It's just, what do I want to say, like an inconsistent or incongruent kind of situation between two people. And two, I think when we are triggered in a big way, at least this is my belief, if I'm being triggered in a big way, it's a sign for me to go, okay, I need to maybe step out of this and take care of myself. And of course, those triggers might indicate where I'm needing the healing. And I can do that healing by myself when I'm feeling I'm in a safe place, either by myself or with a friend or a counselor or whoever, but able to be with myself in a safe place to explore those more difficult emotions or things that I maybe hadn't processed. So I'm working on processing maybe some more of those things. But I feel like, in what I've realized especially between the contrast between the two jobs that I have, is that in one, I'm not triggered at all, like zero. Like, of course, once in a while, there've been days where, maybe there's a little something here, a little something there, and I work it through, and it's not a big deal. So it's really just been a really peaceful journey for this last whole year. caring for this boy and being with his family. It's just an amazing match. And with my newer family, I realized that, yeah, it's not that it's a new thing or that I had to get used to it or I had to do something different or be something different. It's just at this time in my life, being the person that I am and being where I've been before, it's just not fitting, right? And I realized that it took a lot of courage to come to that place, both with my last relationship and with this situation, to go, is this working? And to bravely say, okay, no, it isn't. And I want something that's better for me. And it takes a lot of courage, I think, to do that, because it's hard to change. And it can be really hard to let something go, especially when we're talking about relationships. It's very, very difficult. So be sure to offer yourself a whole bunch of compassion and love as if you're in this place where you're realizing, okay, I gotta let this go. It's